For a conversation on this development, I'm now joined by a political analyst, Mojeed Jamiu. Good to have you on the news, and thanks for giving us your time. Please help us make sense of events today. On the one hand, we understand that Obasa recently filed a suit in court and has requested accelerated hearing of the case. And then, on the other hand, we're hearing that there is a letter written, quoted in the media by the acting clerk of the House, urging the DSS to deploy operatives ahead of plenary today over concerns about Obasa's plan to resume as Speaker. If this is true, does it mean that Obasa doesn't have faith in the court process and decided to resort to self-help? And who are the people agreeing to be used? And then on the other hand, if the DSS was invited, why does it seem that there was a clash today between the lawmakers and the security operatives that were there? What it would be your interpretation of these events?
Thank you, Felicity. It's like you've asked 10 questions, which I'll try to unpack one after the other. Yes, on Friday, news went around that the impeached speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, had approached the Lagos High Court so that he could be reinstated as, his prayer is that he should be reinstated as speaker. Well, without preempting what the court will rule on, it is only the members that can take that decision to reinstate him. Even if the court rules, I'm not trying to preempt what the court will say. Even if the court rules, the lawmakers will go to...
Sorry to interrupt you as you're just getting started. Sorry to interrupt you as you're just getting started. My prelude was to give you like a background and then get to understand what your own personal interpretation is of today's events.
Yes, basically, I see a situation where Obasa, after going to court, tried to jump the process. After going to court, you ought to have allowed the court to take to see that process through, because as we speak, I mean, videos have emerged about a rally he held today in Agege. I mean, at a time, the DSS was locking up this. So you see like a sort of coincidence in this actions, I mean, the activities that happen. And now back to the letter written by the clerk, the acting clerk of the House, Mr. Otun. Yes, the letter was actually written because according to a press statement by the chairman House Committee on Information Strategy and Security today, that's Honorable Ogundipe Stephen Olukayode. He said yes, they wrote that letter to the DSS that is to forestall a situation where the court process which Obasa instituted, which is started on Friday, will lead to a breakdown of law and order. So they were trying to preempt a situation where some people want to seize the opportunity to take laws into their hand. That was why he, on behalf of on the directive of the Speaker and members of the House, wrote to the DSS, and that is not the first time the House will be writing to the DSS to offer protection or to beef up security. But that in this instance, when the DSS came, to their dismay, the House members discovered that the office of the Speaker, the office of the Deputy Speaker, the office of the acting clerk, and the legislative chambers were all under lock and key, with security men, DSS officials, stationed there in their numbers, and that before now, when they request the service of the DSS, what they normally do is to station themselves at the gate and profile those who will enter into the assembly complex, not into the legislative chambers. So that issue, they said it called for concern that they had to challenge the DSS officials. We said we should provide security, but we didn't tell you to come and lock us up. So You can see the imbroglio that
it's quite curious,
ensued, and they had, I mean, the civil servants in the House of Assembly forced their way into the chambers and ushered the Speaker and other legislators into the chamber where they passed a vote of confidence on the Speaker, Madam Meranda.
Okay, I would have loved to take on the argument that you put up now that the need for security was as a result of Obasa's court case. I mean, when a case is brought to the courts, you're supposed to wait for the court to react before you take any action. But that's on the side. I'd rather want us to go on and look at Miranda's emotional response to the show of support by members who have now passed a vote of confidence on her leadership. The argument, again, here is that this is the same people who passed a similar vote on Obasa before the falling out and what with the crisis that we have today. So how assertive is this vote in the larger scheme of things, like wide media report speculating about her imminent resignation?
Well, you see, a lot of things happened today, and I must say that, I mean, the kind of situation we had today at the Assembly could only have been imagined under an Abasha as a military dictator, and even not under a Babangida or not under Abdulsalami Abubakar, but under a maximum ruler like Sani Abasha. So it's a rape on democracy for the DSS under a democratic rule, under a President Tinubu, who also fought for democracy, for this kind of thing to happen. You can see the woman, she was shedding tears, and because she couldn't believe this, that this could happen under a democratic dispensation. So, and I think the president should intervene. And see, Felicity, I think we should also note something there. Is it a sheer coincidence that today, Monday, February 17, the police commissioner in Lagos was redeployed. The director of the state security was redeployed today. Could that be a coincidence? And the DSS invading the house and Obasa having a rally in Agege. When you add all this together, I mean, you want to wonder, it couldn't have been a sheer coincidence. I don't want to I think the president should intervene, because
I need to interject and just ask you.
Yes.
You're talking about these redeployment and the possibility that there is a connection here. On the one hand, you're also talking about the presidency intervening, the president in particular intervening. This redeployment happens from the top. It doesn't happen on the state level. So if you're asking that the top echelons react, are they not the one making these decisions? Because there will be no way deployment of DSS will happen without the highest authority knowing about it.
See, Lagos is a very peaceful state, and I've heard stakeholders in Lagos speaking today that they are ready, not even the lawmakers now, stakeholders like Fuadoki, and several others, GSC members, saying they are ready to defend the mandate given to Meranda. You see, Obasa, yes, was given a vote of confidence was passed in him November 21st, 2024. January 13, he was removed. You see, there are 40 members. They are all forced among equals. They imagine, you are not voted in to become a speaker, unlike a governor or a deputy governor who fill the form that, yes, I'm running for the position of governor, I'm running for the position of deputy governor. But in this case, you filled a form with INEC that you are running for Agege constituency, Mushin constituency. It is when you get to the house that you now, decide, the members will now decide, we want one of us. They call it primus inter pares. First among equals. So they can decide that a speaker who failed to greet them in the morning, in the afternoon, they will remove him. They don't need to give any reason. Whether you are there or not, 32 members voted to impeach or remove or get Obasa to step aside. So whether it's there or
we'll
not,
have to leave it there for now.
You don't need to
Mojeed.
give any reason.
It's like you really can't hear me, and it's looking like I'm interjecting all the time, but we don't have much time anymore. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much, Felicity.